It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
You know what time it is. That's right. It is Friday, April 28, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. Once he left last night, the draft show, I don't think he came.
He didn't. I think he's still walking.
He couldn't believe the 18th pick last night. We'll play that for you in just a little bit. Maz is on the desk with us. We got JB. We got the great Sam Flannel as well. Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Man. Oh, man. I just love this freaking draft. Even this hectic, wacky, I've never seen a draft like this, and I'm still absolutely in love with it. I can't wait for tonight.
You know, part of it, too, Maz, is the 6 trades. That's one of the things, one of the big talking points today is how wrong these mock guys were. And I don't necessarily agree with that, to be honest with you.
A lot of them hit it.
A lot of them did get close, and if it wasn't a particular player, at least it was a position. And you cannot really account for the amount of trades that happened last night.
I did say there would be more than, what'd you ask, 2 trades?
I said 1 or more.
I said for sure.
And there were 6.
Yep.
There were 6 trades
Jacksonville
last
did
night.
2 back-to-back.
No doubt about it. Everybody watching on woodwardsports.com, welcome in. We cannot thank you enough. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the show. If you can't watch live, download the podcast. 5-star review as well. Available anywhere you listen to podcasts. We'll get right into it here, guys, okay?
I want to apologize to my people in the chat. I won't be able to write to you as much as I usually do. I'm up here.
Wait a minute.
I'm with the big boys.
Wait a minute, dude.
Yeah.
Is that a back pillow that you have?
It's my pillow from my chair.
Do you have a back pillow on this chair?
I do.
What's wrong with you?
I'm more comfortable. Helps me sit up more.
Are you kidding me? You got a back pillow bag. I just noticed that.
Nobody can see it.
Just noticed that.
Okay.
Hey, before we get into it, I just want to thank everybody that came out to Fifth Avenue last night.
Great turnout.
What a great turnout it was in Royal Oak. We had a great night. To Adam Baydoun, to Justin Slanik, to the guy, to Gabrielle D. Phillips. JB. I mean, I almost don't want to name all the names because I'm going to leave somebody out. So impressive, and it was a great night for the network, and I just can't thank everybody enough for their work. If you watched last night, we've got 40,000 views on that thing.
We had over 5,000 live viewers at one point.
Incredible. It was a great night for the network.
Lions picked?
It was a great night for the network, and I just want to thank everybody. All right, let's get to the Lions. They had Jalen Carter on the board there, Tom Mazaway, at 6.
No, they didn't.
At 6.
No, they didn't.
And you're right. They did not have him on the board. I mean, let's just get that out of the way right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the hypothetical all you want. If Jalen Carter was on the board, would they take him or would they not take him? He clearly was not on their board. If
he fell to 12, they wouldn't have taken him. He's not their guy. He went to a Super Bowl team, and the rich got richer. He's on a perfect team in the Eagles.
Yeah, and they've got 4 Georgia starters as well. Philadelphia did really nice. Sam Flannel, I want to come to you. Jalen Carter has been a lightning rod for this NFL draft. I think so many of us in the media, talking heads, sports fans, whatever the case may be, you look at a guy, you look at a defense, how porous it was last year. You see a talent in Jalen Carter, and you all automatically think match made in heaven. That clearly was not the case.
No, that clearly was not the case. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt that even though we obviously have to accept what Brad Holmes decided, I still think they should have stood pat at 6 and taken Jalen Carter. Not only is he arguably the top prospect in this draft, he's such a need for the Detroit Lions. A dominant interior lineman. I mean, they had a couple of meltdowns against Carolina, for example, where they gave up the franchise record to Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard, and in that game against Seattle, where they scored 45 points and lost.
Cost them a playoff.
Absolutely. It directly cost them a playoff because they lost the playoff spot to the Seattle Seahawks. I just think if you put Jalen Carter on that defense, it instantly improves it. And it kind of was disappointing to me that he was completely off the board, and even more disappointing that he's going to go to Philadelphia and be in a perfect situation, and I think he's going to succeed. I think that's one that might not look so good in retrospect. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know, though.
Hey, at number 5, when the Seattle Seahawks were on the board and their pick was in, and when they handed Devon Witherspoon in, the place at Fifth Avenue went crazy. I'm sure Ford Field went crazy as well. I'm sure every Lion fan went crazy. I didn't get a chance to watch the ESPN
Lions
broadcast
fans.
yet. Yeah, Sheila was probably excited as well. But you all said, all right, we got Jalen Carter. And then the Lions clock ticked down to about 2 minutes to go. Still no card. And they make the trade with Arizona.
They do make the trade with Arizona. They trade 6 in 81 for 12, 34, and 168. So they'll have 3 second-round picks tonight. And with that 12th pick, no third-round pick tonight as of right now. I do want to say, I think that Will Anderson, Devon Witherspoon, those were their 2 guys.
Yeah.
Once those 2 guys got picked, it was, hey, let's go get Jahmyr Gibbs now. Tom Pelissero reported today that the Lions liked Jahmyr Gibbs so much that they were considering taking him at 6. So before we get into all this, I just want to tell everybody out there that hammered me and just crucified me and told me my take sucked and gave me all them clown emojis for wanting a running back at 6. They were considering taking Jahmyr Gibbs at 6, and they ultimately took a running back with their first-round pick. I just want to make note of that. And for all the Bijan Robinson haters who told me that Bijan Robinson cannot go at 6, he went 2 picks later at 8. So I just want to get that on the record. I also want to get on the record for all of you Anthony Richardson people who tell me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, who tell Tom Mazaway, Malik Willis. Okay, Malik Willis. You guys wanted Malik. You guys wanted Malik.
Mazleek, they call me.
Mazleek. You know what? He sucked so bad he wasn't even on the board at 6. Because the Indianapolis Colts thought that much of him to take him at 4. So I just want to go on the record. As bad as you guys think that my takes suck or clown emoji, how many clown emojis can we have? I just want to tell you, I know what the hell I'm talking about, okay? And it was evident and proved last night.
And you will see that Anthony Richardson will put the Colts on the map. This is a team that knows how to draft quarterback. Sure, you're going to miss sometimes, but I think they did pretty good over the past. Sam, can you name some quarterbacks that the Colts have taken in the last, 20 years or so?
Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck.
Oh, okay.
I'm not an Anthony Richardson guy, but I can't deny that. And I will give you your flowers. We don't know if he's going to be a good NFL quarterback yet, but unlike some people, I'm willing to give credit when he at least was a top 5 draft pick. So take a bow.
Thank you, Sam.
Absolutely. I just want to get that on the record. Now, as for the Lions pick, at number 12, it was Jahmyr Gibbs, the Alabama running back. I loved the pick. I loved it last night. I loved it immediately. This kid can do so much. He's an absolute freaking burner. And this puts DeAndre Swift on notice. I think DeAndre Swift is going to get traded today, by the way. We'll know more about that coming up.
I don't think I would trade him. I think he probably will be.
I think he wants out now.
He's got 1 year left on the deal. You know what? You're going to do what I tell you to do because you haven't played much for my team, and I picked you pretty high. And you know what? I got you on the last year. To me, you're my saver.
Understandable if DeAndre Swift wants out, Maz, because as you mentioned, you got 1 year left. It's a contract year.
I got it.
You want to try to make some money here, so I understand, and maybe that can get worked out later today. But just stick with Gibbs for a second.
Yeah.
I think And you know what? We can lump them in real quick. Jack Campbell at 18. It was clear that Brad Holmes does not care about value,
Nope.
and he does not care about what you think of the picks. Brad Holmes evaluated his football team, identified the needs his football team had. I don't even want to say needs. Identified the football players in this draft to choose from, and he took the best player. That's all he did. And this is why we have busts in the NFL. Because instead of just taking the best player, you want to fit like a round peg in a square hole. That's how busts happen in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs, to me, is the perfect running back for this football team. Not only does he give you speed, he can line up in the slot. Mm-hmm. He led Alabama in receptions last year.
He's the best running back receiver in the draft, and not even close. He is the best guy in space. Matter of fact, Rye, when they did pick him, here's the video from inside the Lions Den, Lions.com on Twitter and YouTube. Check this out. You're going to see how excited these guys were. Look at Brad Holmes. I think he's even more excited about this pick than he was about Penei Sewell.
Hey, Jahmyr, it's Brad Holmes, GM of the Detroit Lions. How you doing, man? I'm doing great, man. You ready to be a Lion? All right, man. Hey, we're fired up over here, man. You're going to be a big-time weapon for us, man. We're super excited. We're jacked, man. And you're going to do a lot of big things for us going forward, man. All right, Jahmyr, hold on, man. We're going to get you on our phone with the head coach, Dan Campbell, all right?
Gibbs, Dan Campbell. Hey, congratulations.
What's up, Mark?
Yeah, we're excited to have you, man. You're going to fit perfect out here with us. We'll talk to you.
Gibbs.
Gibbs.
We're excited to have you, Gibbs.
I mean, that's what it's all about, too. And this felt like a very New England Patriots type draft.
Oh, I don't like to hear that.
And by that, I mean, and I'm talking years ago. I just mean there are Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes guys, and then there are not. Can you fit in this room? Can you fit on the field? We don't care if Mel Kiper says you're going to go at 34 or 55. We'll take you at 12. We don't care, Jack Campbell, that Mel Kiper had you at 48. We like you so much. We think you can do so much for us. We're going to take you at 18. And for all the Lions fans out there, and there are a lot of you, that believe that these picks were reaches, I think you can question that. I absolutely think you can question that, and that's fine. Nobody's going to be mad at you for doing that. But Kenneth Walker, I look at Kenneth Walker last year, okay? Mm-hmm. Kenneth Walker was a second-round pick. If Seattle took him at number 5 overall last year, do you think, knowing what they know now about him, do you think they'd have a problem with it?
Not at all.
I just think if Jahmyr Gibbs comes in, is a matchup nightmare, and provides this electricity, a total mismatch to your offense, you don't care that he was taken at 12. If Jack Campbell comes in and starts for this football team, which he is going to do, and solidifies the middle of that defense, what does it matter if he's taken at 18?
He's going to start.
Especially if there was nobody around that area that you like. Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't like a player there. I think a lot of people overreact.
People are going to say they didn't take the corner. I think the corner.
I think a lot of maybe they don't like the corner.
They signed. I told you. In free agency, they hit the jackpot.
Yeah,
and they believe in it. You're going to get a corner here on day 2 or day 3. You will. Just not those 2 top guys. 3 top guys.
More from Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. It's been a long night, ladies and gentlemen. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. More from them coming up next. But first, a message from the Folding Warehouse.
Oh, man, I don't have my pin. That's okay. I don't need it. The Folding Warehouse down in Hamtramck, Michigan. You know what time it is. It's time to get your fold on. 2 ways to play it. $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation. 10 or 12 of your closest friends or people you don't even like. Just bring them on and beat their ass at Folding. $12. That's it. or a private lane reservation for $120 for 2 hours. All you can drink. They got multiple full bars and over 100 beers on that menu. Bring your own food in or have it delivered. Oh, forgot about the $2 mystery beer machine as well. Get your fold on at foldingwarehouse.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever, has tons of equipment, a full-body workout, the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. And the best part is you get all of this for only $10 a month.
That's only $10?
Only $10, absolutely. Your fitness is essential, and fitness is a key part of your physical and mental wellness. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
It's like a handful of favorite players in the draft, and some of those guys were taken before we were able to pick, but Jameer was certainly one of those guys.
That was Brett Holmes talking about the selection of Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. There were a couple of guys that were taken that they wanted. I have to believe Will Anderson Jr. and Devon Witherspoon was another one of those guys. Hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Woodward Sports. There are over 1,200 people watching live right now. If you could, go ahead, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to over 200 likes by the end of this segment. That would be fantastic stuff. Helps YouTube push our content out to more people. Tom Mazaway. Yeah. Anytime fans think they know it, they want to be right.
We
so
all want to be right.
I think that Brad Holmes had a really great night last night. I really do.
I hope so.
And I think these two players are going to come in and help right away. They're not development guys. They don't need any development. They're going to come in and help right now.
Remember how people were complaining you can't take a quarterback? We're ready to win now. That's going to set you back 2-3 years. You got two starters. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, who you're going to see a ton of. David Montgomery is going to be the off-back. He's not going to catch passes. This kid is your pass catcher.
He is a pass catcher, though.
He is going to replace Jamison Williams, basically, for the first 6 games. You're going to see a lot of Gibbs, and Jack Campbell's going to start. I'm not sure where they're going to put him in linebacker land, but if you think they reached for Jahmyr Gibbs at 12, here's a tweet for you. Brad Holmes said there were several teams that texted him saying, man, great pick. And we all do this playing fantasy football. When the guy takes your guy, and we all write back, I believe that.
I do too.
I believe.
For people doing audio only, let me tell you, this is Tim Twentyman, DetroitLions.com. He tweeted out one thing that jumped out to me from Holmes' presser. Holmes said he got a lot of texts from other teams after taking Jahmyr Gibbs at 12, saying they were planning to take him or trade up to get him. So that is another part of this thing. And, why can't you take a running back at 12? Why can't you take a linebacker at 18? I think a lot of people have a problem with the two positions as well in the first round. Why can't you take a corner at 3? Remember when we were talking about now Jeff Okudah didn't work out, but
it ain't his fault.
And it was a different regime as well. But why can't you take these players if you think you've identified the player that's going to help you?
Well, and I echo that sentiment for the most part. I think that there's a right to have some healthy skepticism when it comes to Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think a lot of it has to do with nobody saw it coming. Nobody really had that on their board. And like Maz said, people want to be right. People want to feel like their projections really meant something when nobody saw this coming at all. The bottom line is, Ryan, as you said, if Jahmyr Gibbs becomes any sort of facsimile of, say, of Alvin Kamara, it doesn't matter that they picked him at 12. He is by far... Bijan's kind of close, but he is definitely the best pass-catching threat out of all running backs coming out. His speed and elusiveness are elite. If he becomes a guy that can get 1,000 yards and maybe 600, 700 yards receiving consistently behind this offensive line in this offense, it's going to turn out to be a good pick. But with drafting a running back at 12, he has to, or else the microscope is going to be on Brad Holmes, although I think he will.
I almost feel like the Lions had Jahmyr Gibbs higher than Bijan Robinson. Because
they save money. That's one thing. You're picking 12. You're not picking at 6 or 8. You're picking at 12. That's a big savings. This team, they're fiscally responsible as well. So if they think both backs are equal or both backs are great, one guy gives you this, one guy gives you that, they got the guy they wanted, and they got him on the cheap.
And another thing you can't underscore, one of the things that I was talking about leading up to the draft was that I think you should make what you do great, make it even greater. If Jared Goff is going to be your quarterback, one of the things we always talk about, Tom Mazaway, is he has to have a perfect situation around him. Why not add the most electrifying speed guy that you can at that spot in 12.
I was telling the guys last night when you left, I was talking to Sam, and I was like, they protected Jared Goff here. They gave him his little dink pass because stone feet in the back. He's not great in the pocket. He's really not. Let's say what it is. He's got a back now that is going to help him immensely. They have helped their quarterback big time.
Let me let you hear from Scotty Montgomery here. He is the Lions running backs coach. Here's what he had to say about the new Lions running back, Jahmyr Gibbs.
We placed a high value on what he can do from an explosive standpoint and creating more explosives, but not being limited to creating those explosives in the running game. So we see as a guy that probably, in my opinion, is the best space player in this draft and what he can do with the football.
Guy can fly.
That means he can catch the ball.
Well, he had 44 receptions this year.
He's little. He's going to disappear, too. He's going to disappear.
Let me get to 18 because a lot of people are focused on Jack Campbell, the linebacker. At 18...
This is when people started walking out like zombies.
Well, and I think one of the reasons, not so much that who they took, but who was left on the board. And again, I think we in the media and a lot of fans, we hype up our players. Calijah Kancey was on the board at 18. And I think people would have felt a lot better about the Gibbs pick if you would have solidified that defensive line, perhaps.
Tampa Bay took 10 seconds to run their card up.
Yeah,
after the Lions picked Campbell.
And took Kancey. So these two players will be aligned forever now.
No doubt. Jack
Campbell and Calijah Kancey. Yes. And both of them will be probably good players in the NFL. This, to me, was a pick that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell had to have. And the more you look at it, I didn't know anything about Jack Campbell last night, to be honest with you, because I'm looking at what I think is first-round guys.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm going in preparing for the show last night, I got a list of guys preparing for first round guys. I'm like, what do I need to know about, X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
Jack Campbell. I mean, Mel Kiper, and again, I don't want to rag on Mel Kiper today because Mel Kiper is the reason that we all care about the draft.
You're damn right.
So I'm not going to say a bad thing about Mel Kiper today, but he had the Lions taking Jack Campbell at 55.
I know. He said at least 40 spots too high. They took him.
But this could be and should be and will be the starting inside linebacker for the Detroit Lions on week 1.
What are you saying they're going to do with Malcolm Rodriguez?
He's going to be a guy. He's going to be a depth guy. He's going to be a depth guy. Look, Malcolm Rodriguez was taken in the 6th round.
Right.
Okay? He was taken in the 6th round, and, so was James Houston, 6th, 7th round pick, whatever the case may be on him.
I think they're all going to work hand in hand together.
Absolutely. Just because Malcolm Rodriguez might get, I don't want to say lose his starting spot, but, it's probably going to be Anzalone and Jack Campbell in there.
The thing about the Jack Campbell pick, I'm not going to lie. I'm not super excited about it, and it's not the pick that I would have made. But now that he's a Lion, you have to look at the positives and how he can help this team. I believe, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that the linebacking core is still among the weaker in the NFL, even though Anzalone was better and Malcolm Rodriguez had a good rookie year. I think Jack Campbell is the type of guy that can step in on day 1 and be the best linebacker on this team. And obviously, like I said, for the Lions, it's not the biggest accomplishment in the world. My thing is, I also think that maybe a Drew Sanders, a Diane Henley, or somebody like that or Trenton Simpson, you could have got him in the 2nd round, and they could have done that as well. But I'm not going to pound the table about Jack Campbell. It is a need at linebacker. That is one thing that I don't know is being talked about enough. Not my favorite, kind of a wait-and-see mentality at this point.
Hey, they were very excited in the war room last night when Jack Campbell's name popped up. Let's take you inside the Lions den again. Thank you to Lions.com and on Twitter and YouTube. This is when Jack Campbell was selected by the Detroit Lions at number 18.
Hey, Jack. I'm good. It's Brad Holmes, GM of Detroit Lions. How you doing? You ready to be a Detroit Lion, man? Hey, man, we're really excited you to be in the middle of our defense, man. All right? Absolutely. We're super excited, too, man. Absolutely. I know you are. I know exactly what you're about. I know you are. I'm going to get you on the phone with our head coach, Dan Campbell, all right? All right. Yeah.
Jack, hey, man, I love your last name.
A couple of football guys talking ball.
He wasn't going to let Jack Campbell leave that building. They fell in love with him. He is the consummate Dan Campbell guy. Remember how we talk about a Dan Campbell guy? It's Jack Campbell.
Guys, we're going to talk more Lions. What are they going to do today? We'll have that coming up. But first, a message from Alta.
Oh, at Alta Equipment, uptime matters, of course. At Alta Equipment, you know it. They got the best. They are the best. Alta Equipment, they can get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, give them a call. Alta Rental at 844-GO-2-ALTA. 844-GO, 2, ALTA.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
There's a couple guys during this process that kind of stuck with me, like, oh, wow. And Jack was at the top of that list. Like I'll say, when he left out the room, me, Dan, AG looked at each other and was like, damn, that's going to be hard to top right there. And because it was just exceptional. It's the passion that I don't know if people are ready for, quite say. Like, he was literally just crying in tears. I'm still fired up about it.
That was Lions linebacker coach Kelvin Sheppard talking about Jack Campbell in their meeting with them. Over 1,500 live viewers right now on YouTube. Go ahead, hit that like button for us. We'd certainly appreciate it. And we thank each and every one of you for watching. WoodwardSports.com. Get there for the latest news, articles, updates, show clips, and of course, merchandise.
Hey, I want to thank a lot of my friends that came and showed up last night. I probably had a dozen of my buddies showing up. Anthony Prasnak and Scotty and the rest of the game. Tim Kaine and Coach Bruce and everybody that came. I just want to say thank you and appreciate it. They all walked out like zombies, though.
More draft show tonight coming up at 7 o'clock. Absolutely. And Braylon Edwards walked out like a zombie. This is a look at Braylon Edwards when the Lions, when word was that they're going to take Jack Campbell at 18. Watch Braylon Edwards last night at the draft show.
Look at him. Did you see who it was? I still don't know. No. Just wait. It's Braylon. Just wait.
You hear Luke in the back. Luke is like, you guys aren't going to like this. You guys aren't going to like this. He saw it on Twitter who they were going to pick. And then it came the word that Jack Campbell was picked at 18.
And and then he left and never came back.
Never saw him again.
Today. He'll be back on Monday.
We think.
Here's the situation, though. I want to really get a sense from Lions fans about this. All I heard in the
Lions fans.
Oh, Sheila.
In the talk leading up to the draft, Maz and Sam, was that in Brad Holmes we trust. I have an idea of who I want them to take. But I'm at the point where whoever they take, I'm going to be okay with.
We all said that.
Everybody said that.
But we changed our mind.
Clearly. It seems like the Brad Holmes
is God.
Is gone.
Is gone. A little. Because when you sleep on it, which we did, you come back and you feel a little bit better. I don't think Adam did. But most of us came back, and I think the morning show put a poll out. I think they had like 3,000 votes on it, and I think 67% liked the pick. So that's a pretty good chunk.
I mean, this is a Butkus Award winner for the nation's best linebacker. You obviously have a need for it. He appears to be a Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes type guy where he loves football. I think if you, again, I feel like there's these code words that everybody uses the day after the NFL draft. But again, if you identify that player, if this is somebody that you think will help you, why waste a pick and take a player that you don't think will help you? Maybe, I can't remember. Let me pull out my board here, Sam. Let me just say for a second.
Hey, while you're looking at that, the last 10 Butkus winners, Luke Kuechly, Manti Te'o, C.J. Mosley, Eric Kendricks, Jalen Smith, Reuben Foster, when he was down, Roquan Smith, Devin White, who everyone wanted, Nakobe Dean, and Jack Campbell.
Pretty good players.
Pretty good
players. The track record there on that award,
is
what is
good.
it, 7 out of 8?
I'd say.
8 out of 10,
Yeah.
something like that. But again, if the Lions, people take Jack Campbell at 34, fine. Let's just say. But why would you take that player at 34 if you don't think Kalijah Kancey can play for you?
Correct.
If you don't think that you want one of these wide receivers, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Quentin Johnson, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, those were the 4 guys that went after him.
Yep.
Deontay Banks. Maybe you don't like Deontay Banks. Why would you take a player that you don't like just because you can get the player you do like later?
Well, I think a lot of us fans are falling into the same, which I'm honestly, I'll admit it, I'm talking to myself as well, where I wouldn't have done that if I were Brad Holmes. We're obviously not Brad Holmes. I would have preferred Jackson Smith and Jigba, Kalijah Kancey, even a guy like Deontay Banks, or maybe even Brian Brzee. I think there's a difference between, saying that you don't trust Brad Holmes anymore to having a little bit of healthy skepticism, which I admit I did. I slept on it. I feel a little bit better. Obviously, Brad Holmes has earned an immense amount of trust just for his first 2 drafts. He has a lot of, say, leeway. But it's okay to question him a bit. At the end of the day, all of these guys are unknown. Nobody should be pounding the table saying that they're terrible picks, and nobody should guarantee that they're going to be stars. We all have to sort of temper our expectations a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think those are 2 players that can start on the team next year, and that makes me feel better.
I'll tell you, I am not tempering my expectations because I think these 2 players were taken for a very specific reason because they can come in day one and play.
That's fair.
Absolutely be ballers day one. Guys that have a high football IQ, guys that are fast, guys that have a need to stuff the run. I just think these were the 2 selections for the Detroit Lions. Obviously, if you could have gotten Will Anderson Jr., you would have done it. But
when they passed on Christian Gonzalez, I was like, I guess they're not going to take a corner. And they didn't. I mean, the Patriots got a good player. I think he's going to be very good, and I think it was value at the time that they grabbed him. But they picked 3rd tonight, guys. They are on the board 3rd tonight. You're going to get another terrific player.
We're going to talk about that in just one second. I want to read you what Mel Kiper had on today's ESPN.com. He's got the winners and losers, and as you can imagine, a lot of people scratching their heads over what the Detroit Lions did. He's got them the first loser, the biggest loser in last night's draft. Here's what he said. I thought I would like the Lions class when they traded down at 6. At the time, they owned picks 12, 18, 34, 48, and 55. But I just don't get these 2 choices. Let's start with Gibbs, a multi-dimensional player who racked up receptions for the Crimson Tide. Look who else was on the board at 12, though. One of the cornerbacks, Christian Gonzalez or Emmanuel Forbes or Deonte Banks, or edge rusher Nolan Smith made more sense to me. Yes, Detroit had a bunch more picks on day 2, but it could have found a running back there instead of 12. As for Campbell, it's a reach 40 spots in my rankings. He's the 3rd ranked inside linebacker. I thought he'd go in the middle of round 2. Instead, when we talk positional value, both of these positions are not generally prioritized in the first round. So this is the very definition of head scratching. The funny thing is, I had Campbell pegged to Detroit at 82 in my 2-round mock draft a couple of weeks ago. There were much better players when Detroit took him. Mel hates it, Maz.
He does. He also did not like the Texans. And I think everyone, well, all of us regular old football fans were like, wow, they got their quarterback, and they got their quarterback on defense as well. They got Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud. To me, that's a haul. Mel didn't like it. He also did not like the Packers, Lucas Van Ness. He didn't like the Falcons, taking Bijan. He didn't like the Raiders, taking Tyree Wilson. So we're in good company. He loved what the Eagles did. So do I. He loved what the Seahawks did. So do I. He liked the Ravens. They got their quarterback finally. They got Lamar Jackson. He liked the Steelers moving up. And he liked the Patriots taking Christian Gonzalez. So he didn't like what we did. But guess what? That's not the first time that Mel didn't like what a team did. And the proof will have to be in the pudding coming up.
Yeah, there is some good company because he said he didn't like what the Houston Texans did. I think you get C.J. Stroud, your franchise quarterback, your edge rush. You get a guy who's your quarterback, a guy who goes after the quarterback and Will Anderson, and you just sign Laramie Tunsil. So to me, the Houston Texans already are a team that is going to at least double their win total from the previous year, maybe even challenge Jacksonville for the division title. And then Bijan Robinson at 8. I actually like that pick.
I mean, I know Tyler Algier already.
I understand,
but he's not Bijan.
No, Bijan Robinson. To me, he's a guy that within a couple of years could be the best running back in the NFL. I wouldn't have minded. Well, given that Jalen Carter was there, it's a little bit different. But there was a circumstance where I could have talked myself into wanting Bijan Robinson at 6. I've came all that way, and of course the Eagles. Come on now.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. You get arguably the best player in the draft at number 9, and then you get his college teammate in Nolan Smith, and you add those guys to Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, James Bradbury.
Hey,
Darius
Sam,
Slay.
don't end there. You've got Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, and Nakobe Dean last year. You've got 4 starters on Georgia's national championship defense.
Unbelievable.
4 of 11 starters.
The rich get richer.
To be fair, though, I think Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis are relative unknowns, but I get what you're saying. saying.
I mean, they're going to be starting players for the Eagles this year, though.
They've got a very, very good blend of star veterans and young players. It's unbelievable.
Did you see their draft room, their war room? They probably had 25 guys in there, all dressed in black suits.
The Eagles?
The Eagles.
Did you see the one guy that was giving fist pumps to everybody, and then the one guy he walks up to is like...
I didn't see that.
He was like, did you see it?
I didn't see that.
Oh my gosh, it was great. You have to check it out.
They look terrific. They did. We had a few guys in our war room. It didn't look like the Eagles' war room, though. That's a team they're playing with house money. Won the Super Bowl 7 years ago, runner-up last year. Jalen Hurts. The Eagles get richer.
Yeah, the Eagles got better last night. I thought Seattle.
Boy, they know how to draft.
Seattle with Devon Witherspoon and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think that team is a dark horse. I don't want to say Super Bowl contender.
They're making the playoffs again.
But if you make the playoffs in the NFC, you're a Super Bowl contender because there really does seem to be one team right now. I cannot tell you that San Francisco, they don't even know who their quarterback is. And if it is Sam Darnold, I will tell you they're not winning that division.
There's a lot of people that like Darnold.
And that's fine. I don't. It's just my opinion. Maybe he'll prove me wrong.
He's Jared Goff light.
I don't believe that, but that's fine.
For the record, Baz, I'm higher on Sam Darnold than most as well. I think calling him Jared Goff light right now is a little bit extreme, but I get what you're saying. Because he hasn't shown enough. He's
put in a situation like Goff.
Best situation
Just go
he's
run
ever
the
been
team.
in. Best situation he's ever been in by a mile.
Yes.
Much better than the Jets and the Carolina Panthers.
Go run the team.
The Seahawks, though, I agree. Jackson Smith and Jigba, adding him to a wide receiver core that has DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Wow.
And then what if Devon Witherspoon becomes what Tariq Woolen was last year for them? And now you have your corners of the future, your lockdown corners of the future on rookie deals. They're definitely in play to maybe win that division next year. I'd still put the 49ers as the favorites, but the quarterback situation is in flux.
Seattle's catching up.
Shoot.
Legion of Boom 2 is coming.
That's actually a very, very good point.
No doubt. Guys, what are they going to do tonight in round 2? We'll talk about that next. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, your parents, your kid, whoever. Thanks to Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. You're going to be automatically entered in this for a chance to win. That's right. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked.
Sorry about that.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Welcome in. Hit that like button for us on YouTube. We appreciate it. If you are watching on YouTube, however you are watching, WoodwardSports.com. Check out the latest news, articles, updates, show clips, and merchandise. Ermanni and Edwards out today. Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazaway. We got Sam Flannel in with us. JB as well. Fletch is out too. JB kicking it.
Nice job,
in the
JB.
TV booth. Sam Flannel rocking it in the audio booth. I'm going to throw the phone number out in a little bit, but I just want to get to a couple of more points, and then I'll give you guys the floor. DeAndre Swift. Clearly, I thought it could work. I thought it could work once they take Jahmyr Gibbs, but according to
Tom Pelissero.
no, it was not. It was Jeremy Fowler. Jeremy Fowler. I'm going to read for you the Jeremy Fowler tweet. Here it is. The Lions are receiving trade calls on running back DeAndre Swift, whose representation has been in contact with the team about potentially moving to a new team. With Detroit drafting Jahmyr Gibbs, the talented Swift appears poised to leave to Detroit.
He is talented.
He is talented. He can't stay healthy. He's not going to be re-signed here. I thought it could work to have this three-pronged deal, but
I still think it can.
I agree, but he doesn't want to be here.
Well,
and I understand that.
I wanted him to be my bell cow, and he wasn't.
Let's get that on the table, too. He does not want to be here any longer. It's a contract year for him. He wants to go somewhere where he can show off his worth and perhaps get a contract next year.
Maybe the Giants.
Yeah, and I don't blame DeAndre Swift for feeling that way, but to Maz's point, DeAndre Swift, and I'm going to keep saying this until the cows come home, I was a big fan of him. I actually thought very highly of him going into this past season. His career high in rushing yards for a season is 617.
Yeah.
And that speaks to more his inability to stay healthy. When he plays, a lot of times he looks electric, but he never plays a full season. And I know one of the returns that you could maybe get for him, you could talk about, is a 6th-round pick.
Ugh.
Would you trade, though, think about this, would you trade DeAndre Swift for James Houston or Malcolm Rodriguez? I'm not saying all 6th-round picks are going to hit like that, but Brad Holmes has hit on 2 of them. They're not just throwaways at this point.
Yeah, and maybe even pick up another pick next year.
Yeah.
Next year. Maybe you defer to 24.
Well, I want him out of the NFC then, if you're going to trade him.
Either way, he probably won't stay healthy enough to play anyway.
Hey,
so
we kind of saw the writing on the wall last year on Hard Knocks when Deuce Staley was trying to get through to him in that running back room, and he kind of just looked like a guy that, well, didn't want to take direction, maybe didn't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a saying out there: if you can't take good coaching, you're not going to be coached. You're not going to get better. You're just not. You're just not going to get better. And this kid, maybe he don't want to play as much as the Lions want him to play. I don't think he's a Dan Campbell type guy. Can I say that? He's not a Dan Campbell type guy.
You know, it's
played
fun.
through injury.
When we were watching that Hard Knocks, I thought that was all nonsense and just a bunch of coach speak. But what happened this past season? Once again, he couldn't stay healthy. Even in games when he was technically active. I told you about this last night, Maz. There was a 5-game stretch in which he carried the ball 23 times for 61 yards total.
Yep.
DeAndre Swift is not part of their plans. And maybe there was something to that Deuce Staley interaction. Maybe I was wrong all along. Maybe I was way too high on him from the beginning. And at this point, looks like I was.
And that brings us to tonight.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very interesting draft tonight because the Lions have 3 picks. I think one of those picks they will select a quarterback. Will Levis and Hendon Hooker are on the board. If you want a quarterback, you get it today. That's first and foremost. I am really surprised that Will Levis stayed on the board as long as he did.
I'm surprised no one went up to 32 with the 31 with the Chiefs and said, "Hey, we'll take it. You take our pick here, and we'll give you like a 6th-round pick."
Let me take 2 aspects of this.
Get 5 years.
From Will Levis's standpoint, this should use this as fuel. From Will Levis's standpoint, use this as fuel. Use this as Jalen Hurts did. You know, I don't believe Jalen Hurts was at the draft. I think it was a virtual draft anyway when he was there. But not taken in the first round, waiting to 55 until he went in the 2nd round. You don't have that 5th-year option as a 2nd rounder, so look at it as a quicker payday.
Yep.
Go do your work. Go to a team. Maybe somebody's going to trade up to get you. Maybe somebody's going to take you wherever. Hopefully you go to a good team. Use it as motivation and get your money faster.
Well, the Steelers aren't taking him.
Mm-hmm.
They pick first. The Texans aren't taking him. They pick second. The Lions pick third. So either Pittsburgh and Houston are going to make a trade, someone comes up and gets him, or the Lions are sitting there. They're probably not going to take him. I'm just saying, maybe someone wants to come up and talk to the Lions.
At this point, I wait till 48 or 55, and I take my chances there on Hendon Hooker. That's what I would do.
Both quarterbacks could be gone by then.
They absolutely
like the 2 running
could be.
backs went, 8 and 12.
Oh, yeah.
These quarterbacks are going to go boom, boom.
As soon as Levis goes,
the
Hooker's
other guy
going
goes.
next.
Yeah.
Hooker's going.
So you're
next.
rolling the dice if you're waiting. If you're waiting, if you want a quarterback to develop, you better take him quick.
You know, so many people talk about the defense of the Detroit Lions, and I go back to the last 10 games of the year, which they allowed 20.2 points a game. If you allow 20 points a game, you win the game. They went 8-2. If you allow over 30 points a game, you lose the game. They went 1-6. In those first 7 games, the Lions defense allowed 32 points a game. In the last 10, they allowed 20.
Yep.
And so many fans want defense. I think they signed defense, and I think Aiden Hutchinson, James Houston, Malcolm Rodriguez,
and
Jack
the free
Campbell.
Pick. How about the free pick? Your guy picked 2 last year.
Oh, Josh Pascal. That's another point. That's I forgot I wanted to make that point today. You essentially got Josh Pascal too in this year's draft class.
You bet.
Don't forget about that. Yeah, he played a couple of games last year. He had some nice games, flashed some talent, but he's going to be healthy this year.
Jamison Williams is a pick from this year. He
Maybe.
is. Well,
he's not on the field right now, so I don't count him. I'll talk about Jamison
Williams.
Williams.
He will
I'll
be.
talk about Jamison Williams when he gets on the field. Jamison Williams giving you as much production as Malik Willis has right now.
Malik.
But you're going to get a good player tonight, and you're probably at 34, Maz, going to get an offensive player. Are you not? I mean,
you got me. I can't even guess anymore.
Could you see the tight end to go in here?
Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer is a huge.
You know what? He's going to go to Houston. He's going to go to Houston or Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I think Mayer goes.
Pittsburgh's got their guy.
Joey Porter Jr.
No, well, Pittsburgh's got their tight end already.
Oh yeah, that's right. So if Pittsburgh goes Joey Porter Jr., because that's where his dad played, right?
Yep. They were supposed to take him in the first round.
Houston took the rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
You pair him with a big tight end.
Okay.
From Notre Dame, Michael Mayer. So that leaves you with Will Levis, Brian Branch, the safety from Alabama. Would you just take all the Alabama guys?
Hey, it's working so far. Well, not really. We don't know.
That's if all those guys are gone. My dream scenario for the 34th pick in the second round is Joey Porter Jr.
Gone. He's got to go to the Steelers, right? They lost Cam Sutton.
I thought that they would take him in the first round. I thought he was going to be gone by 18, but it shows how much I know and shows how much a lot of us know. I wouldn't be mad if they got maybe an Osiris Torrance guard out of Florida at 34.
There you go.
I certainly, if Michael Mayer falls to 40 to 55, I would consider it. There's also a guy like Keanu Benton, a defensive tackle out of Wisconsin. I think he's a guy that would help solidify the interior defensive line. I think that is something that they do need to address. Brian Branch is certainly an interesting one. I'm sometimes a fan of taking guys that fall, who are at points projected to be top 15 picks, and they fall for some reason. They obviously have potential, but then you also have to ask, why are they falling? I think there's a variety of different ways that they could go. They could also go wide receiver. And I could even talk myself into Hendon Hooker at 48 or 55. I think us Lions fans are going to walk away from the second round of the draft feeling a lot happier than they did even last night. I really do.
Yeah, I do think they get their quarterback tonight, Maz.
I don't think so. I don't think they're picking a quarterback. I really don't. I think they'll sign Teddy Bridgewater as the backup and go from there. I just don't see it. I think if they would have had a chance to do it, why not trade up into the first round and take, if you like Levis
because you might be able to,
you get that 5 years. I just don't think they're going to reach in the second round now. I just don't.
Well, if you can get that guy at 55, you're not going to take him at. You're not going to give up capital and take him at 30.
That's a lot of picks. You're at pick 32 now. That's a lot of picks. I don't think the 2 quarterbacks will last to 55.
And the other quarterback that we're talking about is Will Levis. I do think you take a look at Levis. I mean, you obviously scout him. You've passed on him twice, as you mentioned. You're probably not going to take him. But Dave Burkett wrote about this in the Detroit Free Press today. NFL Draft Day 2 fits. Draft Day 2 fits for the Lions. They have 3 picks in the second round. Here's what he wrote about Will Levis. Levis had the most dramatic slide of the draft, tumbling from potential top 5 pick out of the first round The fact that no team traded back up into the first round to get him and get that fifth-year option on his contract means he could slide even further. But the Lions need a backup for Goff with 3 second-round picks. Levis might be a value at some point. Another guy that he talked about was Hendon Hooker.
Yep.
Hooker is in the midst of a standout season when he tore an ACL in his left knee. There was the thought that he would go in round 1, 2, but he was available on day 2, makings of a solid NFL quarterback once healthy. And then you talk about he's got 4 tight ends here.
He does.
I mean, are the Lions going to take a tight end?
It sure sounds like it.
Michael Mayer, just remember, just one member of the deep tight end class in this year. He was expected to go in round 1, which means there are plenty of good players left on day 2. Mayer is the best of the bunch, a combo tight end who excels as an inline blocker and caught 180 passes over the past 3 years. Darnell Washington from Georgia, Luke Musgrave from Oregon State, and Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan.
Sam Laporta, too, from Iowa.
Yeah, he's not on this list. Oh, well, he is on this list. But nonetheless, you're talking about 4 tight ends.
Then he's got 2 receivers. He's got Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee and Jaden Reed from the backyard here.
I really like Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
I watched him at the Combine and at
he's going to play on Sunday.
I figure it was a Senior Bowl or one of those postseason bowls like that. He really had a nice showing. He would be a solid direction. I'm not going to criticize Brad Holmes if he takes the tight end here. If Michael Mayer is a first-round talent, he's on the board. I think he goes to Houston, though. I think he goes number 2 tonight to Houston.
I stayed up till 3 in the morning last night listening to everybody. They say Michael Mayer is plug and play NFL. You put him in, he's going to start for you, and he's going to dominate.
And that has been the theme of this Lions draft so far.
Yep.
All of these players that
he would start over them
that they have selected. If you go Mayer, and if that's a player you identify, would you trade up to get him?
I don't think you have to. You're sitting 3 polls.
I know, but I think
Houston's going to.
I think Houston's going to take him to pair him up with the rookie quarterback, C.J. Stroud.
I'm not trading up to get a tight end.
All right, guys, coming up on the top of the hour, I want to hear from you. We'll open up the phone lines. 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. I want to hear from you. How do you feel about the draft last night? What about these players? What are you looking for today? Let's have a conversation. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning. Hey, hit that like button for us, too. Let's get to 500 likes today.
Let's do it, guys. 27 locations for Chili Peppers Tanning. 2 right here on Woodward Avenue. If you join the Pepper Club, they're going to beat all competitors by $5 on unlimited tanning. You know it. You get the cleanest salons in the D, the best trained tanning professionals as well. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your Vitamin D headquarters, ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazaway. We've got Sam Flannel in the audio booth for us. The great JB, Jeremy Bryant, TD in for us today. Want to thank everybody who's watching. Philippines On Demand says, maybe if you, and I love Philippines On Demand.
2 a.m.
That's
over
my
there.
guy. 2 a.m. We certainly appreciate it. It says, maybe if you take questions from the chat, we will hit that like button. I will take questions from the chat.
We
It's
will.
just a little bit.
We can let Sam read them to us.
Yeah, we can figure that out
go.
too. We'll do that. We're taking phone calls now. I just want to get a sense of where people are. I mean, at the beginning of the night, last night, everybody's talking about Brad Holmes cooking. Let Brad cook. Let him cook.
The chef.
Do not criticize.
Iron Chef.
Do not talk bad about Brad Holmes.
He's 2 for 2 on drafts.
Let him do what he wants. And then the minute he drafts 2 players,
He
you're like,
sucks.
oh, he sucks. Run him out of town.
Get the hell
He
outta
fired.
here.
This team just got
SOL.
worse. What? I mean, what the hell?
You know how many SOLs I heard last night?
Are you kidding me? It's so funny because when I was a little upset when they passed on Jalen Carter, and Braylon and Neil and Jeff, they were like,
Neil was despondent.
no, but when they passed on Jalen Carter, and I was raising questions about that, they're like, oh man, no, this is about Sheila. Sheila didn't want. I'm like, Sheila didn't have anything to do with this. Are you nuts?
Hey, I kind of said when they took Jack Campbell, I said to Sam last night, this sounds like a Chris Spielman type of guy. A Chris Spielman, because first of all, I'm one of the biggest Chris Spielman fans that there is. Oh, good old number 54. I just loved him. I mean, he might not have been the biggest, the best, but this guy was, to me, one of the top Lions of all time. Obviously, he's in the Ring of Honor, and he is a vice president. He's a player personnel guy right now. I just, if you got a guy like that in your inner circle, he maybe you listen to him once in a while. And Chris says, I like this guy. Dan Campbell's like that guy. Brad Holmes like that guy. He's not leaving the building, and he's plugging and playing and giving you 10 great years, because that's what Butkus guys do. They give you 10 years.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Guys, I want to get to the phones now. Thanks to everybody who called. Looks like we got full line. So let's go to, what is that?
I couldn't tell, honestly.
Oh, thanks.
sorry about that.
All right.
Go to mystery caller.
All right. Well, how you doing? What's your name here? You're on the. What is it?
It's Chance.
Oh, Chance.
Chance. Oh my
Like
goodness.
Chance the Rapper?
I'm so sorry, man.
Chance.
Chance the
Thanks,
Rapper.
man. No, I'm sorry, man.
All right, Chance.
It says DHANC on my computer.
DHANC. Go ahead, DeHance.
So, Chance, thanks for the call. You're on Woodward Sports Network.
Yeah, no, I was just, we went out to get a drink last night and watch the draft or whatever, and, I was a little shocked at what I seen, but I'm not upset with it.
Did you have a couple of drinks after that one, or did you just have one drink and
No,
say, I like that?
I just had a drink and an appetizer, but I mean, honestly, I was expecting defense right away, but after kind of sitting back and looking at it, I'm not too upset with it. I'm not gonna hate on what they're doing there. I'm not a GM of a team. I don't know much about it, but I know that these guys are ready to work, and I think they know what they're doing up there.
Was there a guy you wanted, Chance, that they didn't take?
I mean, Wilson got picked quick.
Yeah.
I wanted Carter, but I was a little shocked about the running back right there, but I'm not too, after sleeping about it and thinking over, I'm a little happy that they
Good.
I think
for a little bit of offense right there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel like that. Hey, Chance, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. I think a lot of people feel like once they slept on it a little bit here, it was good. Let me bring in John. You are on WoodwardSports.com. How you doing, John?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. From Alaska. My dad moved up here, and he brought the Lions fandom to here with us. So.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, yeah, no, I'm pumped on it. And obviously there was a ton of shock value with the picks, because I don't think anybody was expecting that. But I'm really excited for the second round. I trust in Brad, and I trust in MCDC, and yeah, I mean, you're still shocked about it. You'd probably sleep on it again, but really curious to see where they're going to go and what they're going to do in round 2.
Would you be opposed to them taking a quarterback somewhere in these next 3 picks?
Honestly, I'm on the board. I'm on the fence on it because my heart tells me that Goff is good, but he's not going to be that guy that takes you to that top tier. So my mind tells me, yeah, we're going to need to have a quarterback, behind him, ready to jump into that spot. And if you don't take him in this draft, like are you going to have to trade up to get that guy in the first round the next year? So it's like passing the buck down or rolling it down the hill.
Kicking the
I'm
can.
not necessarily, and that's hard. That's hard to sit there and think about, because we've seen Goff and what he can do. And yeah, he's been great, but you also got he was great and then he fell off. So it's hard.
Hey, John, thanks.
But I'm not sold on Will or necessarily, and I'm worried about Hendon too. That's it.
Okay.
John, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. Let's get to Bart. You are on WoodwardSports.com. Bart, where are you from? Tell us what you think about the draft.
Sterling Heights. Hey, Maz, how you doing, man?
Hey, Bart. What's up, brother?
Hey, real quick.
Take your time.
I heard a report that both Gibbs and Campbell were on Brad's short list of the 5 top players in this draft.
Yep.
You look at Anderson, Witherspoon, and probably B.J. Robinson being the other 3. And when you looked at when B.J. was available and you had the team come and say, hey, we'll offer, a second round, and you look at B.J. and Gibbs and you go, okay, let's make the trade. Get in that draft capital. So Campbell, Pat McAfee had a guy on today that said Gibbs is going to be like Kamara from New Orleans, and also
I think that was Herb Street.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, Herb Street said that.
That's 2 pretty good names.
And then Campbell, he's just a stud. And watching the film, today, he recognizes the play immediately. He's also got talent to drop back in coverage, and he was making plays sideline to sideline, which is encouraging. And that was a weak spot. Grant you, I wanted the kid from Pitt, like we talked about last night, Maz, about that defensive interior lineman, but Levi was practicing, one of Brad's previous draft picks.
Worry about his back.
Hey, Bart, I think Brad Holmes should call you up. Sounds like you know what you're talking about.
He does. He saved me a seat last night in the front row.
He did. That's right. Oh my gosh.
I was in the front row.
Front row, baby. Front row.
Gosh.
Going in today. You look at Brad, he takes the most talented players that can also play multiple positions. I like Branch from Alabama, that safety corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would definitely help us because we got the 2 one-year contracts. Also the kid from Wisconsin, that big tackle.
Joe Tipman?
He had Benton, I think it was, from Wisconsin.
Benton.
He's a run stopper, but he also improved his game as a senior for sacks. I think he had 4 last year. We need that plug in the middle.
That's let's. I'm sorry, John. I'm gonna wrap you up here because I want to get to a bunch of other callers who are on the
Bart,
phone.
Thanks for calling. Bart brought the 1991 draft guide last night with him.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, Sam, by the way, my screen just died here, so I'm going to have you control it and tell me who's on the air, okay? All right.
The last one would be Herndon. I would take him.
Who?
Yep.
Hendon Hooker?
Quarterback.
Hendon Hooker.
Hendon Hooker.
All right, Bart.
All right, Bart. Thanks so much, man.
See you, buddy.
Really appreciate it.
Hope you had a good time last night.
Thanks so much. All right, Sam, I got to have you control it
call
from
them
here,
out,
big
Sam.
guy. You call
No
it out, and you
problem
control
here.
how long they stay on, okay,
Awesome.
buddy?
We've got Dennis.
My screen died here.
Dennis
the Menace. All right. What say you, Dennis? How you doing, man? Where are you from? What do you want to talk about?
Well, currently I live in Huntsville, Alabama, but I'm from Pontiac, Michigan. Grew up, down the road from the Pontiac Silverdome.
Love that place.
So I've been a Lions fan. Yes, I've been a Lions fan since I was 11 years old, man. I'm about to turn 50. And I'm telling you, this is by far the best team. This is by far the best team and the best decisions that this organization has ever made, man.
You're an Alabama guy. Tell me about Jahmyr Gibbs. How do you see it?
I'm a Michigan guy.
All right, you live in Alabama. I'm sure you watch a lot of Alabama games.
Yes, Jahmyr Gibbs is fine with me. Brad Holmes, I trust him, dude. I mean, he's built this thing unlike anybody's ever done here in Detroit. So,
Facts.
I trust him. They study these guys. These mock drafts are a joke. I mean, come on.
Well, we
All of
try,
them.
right? Everybody tries. It's fun
Yeah,
to talk
they're
about.
fun.
I don't
Everybody
know if
gets
it's
to
a
become
joke.
you become a GM. There's nothing wrong with it.
And here's the thing, and thanks so much for the call, my man. I really appreciate it. Here's the thing with these mock drafts. It is because of these mock drafts that everybody cares about the draft. Mock draft after mock draft, everybody's sitting there looking at these things, seeing how their team can get better. Without the mock, last night doesn't have 40 million viewers or whatever it'll have.
And 300,000 people standing in Kansas City waiting for their team to pick last in the first round.
Without Mel Kiper, I want to make this very clear for everybody beating up Mel Kiper today. It is because of Mel Kiper and the work that he has done over the last 40 freaking years that makes you care for the NFL draft.
Yep.
You get to have a guy that you can agree with or disagree with, call a buffoon or a genius, tell him to cut his hair or retire. It's because of him, though. So be careful about beating up Mel Kiper today. You should thank Mel Kiper today.
Because think about what we go at 10, 15, 20 million to watch this thing. And what are you watching? We're literally watching somebody read names. That's what the NFL is. Take out the yellow pages, the old yellow pages, read names, and tell me where they're going. That's the NFL draft that we're all locked in with. It's like a Super Bowl. It's a great event, and we get it next year. We get it.
Yeah, and I think it's fun. I think it's cute. I think that a lot of like NFL guys, all these analysts, and even some of I really appreciate the way that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell kind of approached mock draft season. I think they really took a unique approach to it and said, look, I know it's your guys' jobs. I appreciate it. We look at it. It's fun. You guys are doing the best you can. We have more information than you have, so sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't really line up. But again, without all of this, these other talking heads out here, I'm not going to name any names because I watched zero television today. I watched zero analysis of what the so-called experts think.
A lot of reading, though.
But I'm sure it's, who in the hell is Mel Kiper?
Yeah.
Well, the answer to that question is clear. He's the guy that made you care about the draft. He's the guy that turned the NFL draft from a smoky hotel conference room into a traveling roadshow that draws hundreds of thousands of fans to any particular city.
Yep.
And millions of people. So Mel Kiper, an entertainer for sure. Is he a general manager? No.
He could be.
Maybe. Hell. And he might have gotten fired a million times over. But listen, there's about 6 to 8 to, you know what? There's probably 30 general managers that will be fired that picked last night.
No doubt.
And the only ones that won't, I don't even know. Maybe the Kansas City Chiefs and Bill Belichick's not going to fire himself. Philadelphia. Howie Roseman will eventually get fired. He's just not going to get fired now. Back to the phone lines. I'm sorry, I don't have a screen here, Sam. You just got to tell me what's going on. You said, hey, you got to say something here?
I was just going to say, if we followed Mel Kiper's advice these past 40 years, we probably would have made the playoffs a few more times. I'm just saying. We're always the smartest guy in the room. And I hope we weren't the smartest guy in the room last night.
No doubt. All right, we're going to take a break. Come right back when we do. More on the NFL draft. We'll look around the league as well. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. We'll take your phone calls, too, by the way. Do we have people on hold?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take your phone calls next. Sit right there. Guardian Alarm, they're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, tells the bad guys one thing: stay out. Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring. Make sure what's important to you stays safe. Call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports Center.
Do it.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. Get there as soon as you can. Try that classic breakfast items like the strawberry hotcakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. If you're not in the mood for breakfast, they got your lunch, dinner, and snacks all locked up for you. Try out that strawberry bacon chicken wrap, or if you want a salad, the refreshing Summer Splash salad. And don't leave there without dessert, especially their very delicious classic strawberry pie, the deep-fried vanilla Oreos, or the strawberry hot fudge cake. All that and more at Lukey's favorite place.
There
Big
you go.
Boy.
Likes that hot fudge sundae.
He does.
Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazaway. We got JB. We got Sam Flannel taking your phone calls. How do you feel about the Detroit Lions draft today? My screen is out here. I apologize for that. So I'm going to have Sam Flannel lead us here down the row of calls. Sam's going to answer the phone on you and hang up on you.
All right, so the first person that I'm going to send to air is Bruce.
Bruce. They're not booing, they're bruising.
What up, Bruce?
Real quick, to me, the picks yesterday, both plug and play, I think they have a sense of urgency to win this year.
The window is now, Bruce.
Yeah, why not?
Right, so I'm thinking, like Elijah Cansey maybe wouldn't have played enough. Christian Gonzalez probably would have sat. They wanted talent they could use and put on the field immediately.
I like that.
So,
and that may include.
And I think if
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say if they take Mayer early, that's going to show that's what they're doing.
That's a clear sign. I totally agree with you, Bruce. I totally agree with you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One last thing on Carter. Look who Philadelphia has. They have the locker room leaders from Georgia. That's why Carter may work in Philadelphia.
Without
question. He wouldn't work in Detroit.
And
so,
I think that
you guys have a good day, man.
I think
Bruce.
that's part of it,
ahead.
Bruce.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. No, I appreciate it, Bruce, and I think that's a really good assessment. I think, and that's where you go matters, not when you're picked. And that's the one thing about the Anthony Richardson thing to me that I don't like. I don't like that he went to Indianapolis.
Why? Last year we thought Indy was going to be very good because they fell on their ass.
Because I think, and again, I could be wrong on this, but I think it's in Anthony Richardson's best interest to sit for an entire season at least, maybe even 2, and develop, or a year and a half. Sit there an entire season, maybe go into year 2. And then you take over midway through the season.
I thought this place was the perfect place.
He's going to be
Detroit, but
yeah,
they didn't like him.
He's going to be forced to play in Indianapolis, and he should sit.
Sam's laughing at me,
what?
Smirking. He
No,
just smirks
no.
every time I bring up Anthony Richardson.
No.
He just smirks like Count Chocula.
No. I mean, he was drafted 4th overall. You guys take your vindication. You've earned it today.
What do you got here, Sam?
I have Walter. I'm going to send Walter to air.
Hey, Walt.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome to Woodward Sports.
Yeah, call from Michigan State. Me and my friends were watching the draft last night in the dorm. I got some things to say for real.
Let's hear it.
Go for it, man.
I called legit my Gibbs pick. I'm really talking to my friend. I say we can get Gibbs at 34. And then he goes to 12. I'm like, okay. I'm not mad. I'm just like a little bit here. But Jack Campbell, I've been talking about him for months.
So you like Gibbs?
Plug-in player. Yeah, I love Gibbs. Great. I've been sleeping on a little bit more. You can use more like a Debo role. Have him play a little bit wide back. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But Jack Campbell, great guy, gritty, best linebacker, plug and play. We needed him the most. I'm excited about this pick. I'm not gonna lie.
ready for another great season.
How about the rest of your Spartan buddies? Were they as excited as you?
Hey, they weren't as happy, but hey, pick 19. I was hoping Canty would fall at 34. I started screaming. I got yelled at by a couple guys because they're trying to study. It's exam week, but I'm just passionate about my team. You know.
When's your exam, Walter?
Got one on Tuesday.
That's what Monday's for, buddy.
Hey,
that's what Monday's for.
My daughter's out. My daughter's there studying right along with you, Walt.
Hey, man, thanks so much for the call, Walter. Tell all your friends thanks for watching and supporting Woodward Sports. We appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, now I'm going to send you to Trey.
Trey.
What up, Trey? You're on Woodward Sports.
Hey.
Welcome in.
What's going on, guys?
You.
So my biggest thing when I was watching the draft, when Houston didn't take Will Anderson, I was fucking over the moon about that. And then when they fucking moved back up to 3, when they moved back up to 3 and took Will Anderson, I went from excitement for the draft in anticipation to I just don't give a fuck about anything.
Clearly.
So I mean,
Clearly.
so like Gibbs at 12. I mean, whatever. I'm gonna assume Brad Holmes knows what he's doing, but like I just couldn't find any type of like anger or excitement for either one of the picks. And then
Who do you want tonight, Trey? Who do you want tonight?
So one of the biggest ones I think that nobody is talking about that I'm interested in is Aditamu Adibari out of Northwestern. I think he is extremely versatile and can play inside and outside.
We probably didn't say him because we didn't want to say his name wrong.
Defensive end from Northwestern.
He did a good job on that.
Yeah, but he can play inside too, though. He can play inside too, though. But I think my biggest ones, I guess, because like you guys said, I think Porter will go to Pittsburgh. But like him, Osiris Torrens, I don't know what the whole medical thing is with Darnell Washington, but he's somebody that interests me too. So,
how about Mayer? Would you take a tight end?
The only tight end I'm really looking at, the only tight end I've ever been interested in this draft was Washington, just because of what he brings.
Darnell Washington from Georgia. You like him?
Yeah, because I mean they've always spoke about how they want to run first, and I think he is the best blocking tight end.
Hold on here, Trace. Hold on here, Trey, because Sam, you look like you got something to say about Darnell Washington.
Oh no, I mean I don't have too many strong feelings about him either way. I mean his size and his measurables are definitely intriguing. He was the number 2 tight end for basically his entire career under Brock Bowers, but it's not something that I would hate. Like Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, and James Mitchell are your tight ends. That's not good enough for the long term.
Don't forget Shane Zylstra.
I said him.
Oh, okay. Did you? You snuck that in?
I think I did.
Hey, Trey, thanks for the call, man. Give me one. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say one thing to that, too, though, is I think you got to give him a little bit of credit. I mean, sitting behind Brock Bowers, any one of these tight ends, if Michael Mayer was there sitting behind Brock Bowers, you wouldn't have half the fucking stats he does too. So I don't want to take too much from Darnell Washington based on his stats because
I like that.
Brock Bowers is on another level.
Well,
so.
your name is Trey, and you dropped 3 F-bombs in the call.
Sorry, my bad. I had nobody. I haven't been able to talk to anybody since then, other than my 8-year-old daughter. So
oh man, I got you, man. It's all good. We're on the internet. It's all good. We don't care.
We can help you.
All right, man. How old's your daughter, man?
She's 8.
8, man.
Just turned 8 on Tuesday.
Happy birthday! I got an 8-year-old myself, man. They're gonna kill us. These oh man, they're gonna kill us. Oh man, I got it. All right, good job.
I gotta go to that nasty ass Packerland tomorrow for her birthday party. She wants to go to trampoline park down there. So.
Oh man,
don't hurt
Maybe
yourself.
Burn a couple things while I'm down there.
All right, don't hurt yourself,
All right,
Daddy.
Trey. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Go Lions.
All right, so the next call is actually El Gato from the chat. So I'm interested to hear what he has to say. El Gato.
El Gato has got the floor.
What's up, guys? I was there last night. It was a blast.
Hell yeah. Thank you, El Gato.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody's freaking out, man. Like, you got the second best running back, and you got the first or second best linebacker. And some other teams in the draft would have taken either or, you know? And you've got the 34th pick, which is essentially like another first-round pick.
Yeah.
basically all these players are graded the same after the first 5 guys.
You know, one of the funny things about this whole thing, too, El Gato, is heaven forbid they go offense tonight, right? I mean, if you thought people were going to freak out at running back, linebacker, wait till they go running back, linebacker, tight end tonight.
Quarterback.
Or running back, linebacker, quarterback. I mean,
you know how many people
are going to lose
I got hung out last night, man. I got hung out there. So many guys in my face saying, "Man, sorry, we didn't take a quarterback for you. We didn't take a quarterback for you." I guess I got a reputation out there.
Unbelievable, man.
And I think if you guys saw the video of Brad Holmes' excitement in the draft,
we did.
Like I think he has something else planned up his sleeve. He wasn't getting that excited over just one player, you know. He's going to do something in the second. He's going to get a 3rd-round pick back or a 4th-round pick.
Yeah, I don't think he's done wheeling and dealing. El Gato, thanks so much. I'm up against a break. I don't think he's done wheeling and dealing. I don't know if they
Swift.
Absolutely, you still have Swift. I do think Swift gets dealt today, and if not today, I think he gets dealt tomorrow.
Maybe you get a 4th-round pick,
or you get something next
or
year in 24, perhaps. Maybe you can get a 3rd for him. I don't know.
I think he's deserving of a 3rd.
What the value is? He's an elite talent. That
Contract
much we know.
year.
Sam, I mean, Swift is an elite talent. What do you think you could get for DeAndre Swift on a 1-year deal, though?
God, 5th or 6th round at this point. I know that sounds low, but like I said, his production isn't there, his availability isn't there.
But I mean, you did get a 5th rounder for Jeff Okudah. So I mean, if Okudah cost you a 5th, I think you can get a 3rd at least for Swift. I mean, when healthy, this guy is a top 6 back.
Dude, if you can get a 3rd for DeAndre Swift, that to me that's a fleece.
Okay,
and that would be unbelievable. I mean, I'm not saying that it's outside the realm of possibility. Fleece is a wrong word.
Yeah.
You should be very, very happy with what you got if you get a 3rd round.
No doubt. All right, guys, I'm up against it. Got to get a break in. We're going to go around the league. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Custom Health Centers. Are you like Maz? Are you feeling tired, depressed, unmotivated?
I am.
Low sex drive?
Nope.
Muscle loss or belly fat?
Yes.
Testosterone optimization therapy is a safe and effective way to restore your vitality, confidence, and performance and reduce heart disease. Visit CustomHealthCenters.com. Maz is logging on right now. CustomHealthCenters.com. Call them today, 877-965-0910.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us. Hop on the YouTube chat. Slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan.
Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals in town. Plus, they will beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Hey, welcome back, woodwardsports.com. If you are watching on YouTube, we would appreciate it if you could hit the like button. Let's get to over 500 likes by the end of the day.
That would be a record for us.
if we could. It would be a record for us if we can get to over 500 likes by the end of the day. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you can't watch live, you can download our podcast. Leave a 5-star review if you could as well. Available anywhere podcasts are found. Of course, at woodwardsports.com, you can get all the latest news, articles, updates, show clips, and merchandise. Stay tuned for the heavyweights tonight. Dan Campbell Brad Holmes introducing the first-round picks of the Detroit Lions today. We will have those clips for you on our social channels. Specifically, Twitter is a good source for that. You'll hear from Jahmyr Gibbs. You will hear from Jack Campbell, our Woodward Sports Lions beat reporter, Gabrielle D. Phillips, down there in Allen Park today as well. So we'll get you that sound on our social channels as soon as we can. Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazaway, Sam Flannel, and JB, Jeremy Bryant in the house. Braylon out today. Let's go to the phone lines and wrap up the calls with
Chris.
Chris. Hey, Chris, you are on WoodwardSports.com.
How you doing, Ryan?
Real good, buddy. How you doing, man?
All right. Okay, here's the problem I have with not necessarily the draft picks, but where you drafted them. If you're going to get the second best running back and be satisfied with that, and Bijan Robinson was at your disposal, I don't understand the trade back. I understand getting the extra, capital or whatever, but what is the point when Bijan Robinson was at your disposal right there?
Maybe.
The other thing is,
I'll take them in pieces. Maybe they love Jahmyr Gibbs' skill set better. Maybe because Jahmyr Gibbs can actually line up in the slot, that would help this football team get through the first 6 games while Jameson Williams is out, because they don't have to line him up at running back. They can actually line him up too as a wide receiver.
Maybe they didn't want to pay him, because you save a lot of money dropping from 8 to 12.
6
that
to
is
12.
true.
6 to 12.
It's not that much money.
It's enough.
Yeah.
They're a frugal
and the last
team.
thing I want to say real quick, guys, is this. DT is still in need. I can't go through giving up 300 yards to another team or another 100 yards to Justin Fields in the first quarter. When are we going to address that? That is a huge issue for me.
You might get it pick 34 here coming up tonight. Third pick sitting at the draft. You don't know. We have no idea what they're going to sit and do tonight at 34. And then they got 2 more picks in the second round after that.
And then not only that, and thanks so much for the call, Chris. I really appreciate it. Obviously everybody looks at free agency in the draft, but that's not when a team is fully complete. I mean, you do have training camp casualties as well. I mean, there are other ways to get better. The draft isn't even over yet. How many picks do the Lions have? Where's my pick sheet?
I don't know where you
the
put
Lions.
It, they got 3 tonight.
Oh, I only have 2 and 3. So the Lions have 3 picks tonight. I think they have 7 more picks total. Remember they got James Houston in the 7th round last year.
Yep.
Is he the 7th round pick?
6th
round pick.
Same
They got
concept.
Malcolm Rodriguez in the 6th round.
Yep.
2 starters for them, and they got a rookie who played 10 games and had 8 sacks.
I mean, even Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th in 2021. And actually, Ryan, what's even more impressive is it was actually 8 sacks in 7 games.
8 sacks in 7
More
games.
sacks than games played. I can never forget that stat because it's so mind-boggling.
That is incredible. So that's just kind of where we are right now with this football team in Brad Holmes.
You don't know who he's going to go with tonight. But if you want defensive tackles, you got the kid from South Carolina, Pickens, Keon White from Georgia Tech, Derek Hall from Auburn, Ika from Baylor, just to say a few defensive tackles there. So there are guys on the board still that you can grab. You got cornerbacks galore still out there. And there's a lot of other positions. You got the offensive line to take care of.
Before we move on, just a hypothetical, and sometimes these hypotheticals are capable of being proven, like last night. How many times did we talk about if Jalen Carter is on the board, would they take him? You were able to prove that last night. The answer is no. 3 second-round picks. If they pick 3 times tonight in the second round, how many offensive players, how many defensive players? Go around the room here.
I'll say they're going to take 2 defensive players and 1 offensive player.
And I think they go 2 offensive players and 1 defensive player.
Ooh, I agree. I gotta agree with Maz on this one. 2 defense, 1 offense. Hopefully, all guys that contribute to the team this year. There's a lot of good players. It's a more deep draft than it is top heavy. So I think they'll come out with a haul. I really
Let me ask you this, Sam. Even though they took Jack Campbell, do you take the kid from Arkansas still, Drew Sanders?
I feel like Drew Sanders gives you a little bit more in terms of pass rushing, so I wouldn't hate it. I actually probably would have picked him over Jack Campbell, but that's
Me
just
too.
me. He was probably my favorite linebacker in this draft. So if they can get him, I mean, he had 9.5 sacks last season. Jack Campbell, that's not something that he really even does. So I think Drew Sanders, he offers you a different skill set. So I wouldn't hate it.
Now, Jack Campbell, the Big Ten, we talk about it. You know, C.J. Stroud quarterbacked in the Big Ten. Devin Witherspoon was a cornerback in the Big Ten. Mozzie Smith played defensive end in the Big Ten. Jack Campbell played tight end, played a linebacker in the Big Ten. The Big Ten isn't very good. Now, they do send a lot of players to the NFL, though, on that side.
Frank Ragnow.
I'm just saying.
Did you mention him?
No, I didn't mention Frank. I didn't mention Taylor Decker either. I mean, there's this. You can go on and on. A lot of guys make it from the Big Ten. I guess they're in love with the Big Ten. What can I tell you?
Well, it's a
Dallas Cowboys. They reached. Don't you think they reached for Mozzie Smith that high, Sam?
Yeah, I probably do. But at the same time,
I don't know why I thought Frank Ragnow went to Nebraska. He went to Arkansas, not in the Big Ten.
Okay,
I
good.
apologize.
No, that's all right. The funny thing is, Mozzie Smith, I do think they reached a tad, but at the same time, I wanted him to follow the Lions at 34, so it's not even that much of a reach.
I know.
I didn't expect him to get drafted over Brian Brzee, though. I thought I wouldn't have done it. But at the same time, if he would have fell to the second round to the Lions, I would have ran to the podium. I mean, I was on the air with you.
Yeah.
I was not happy that he went to the Cowboys.
They took a player they wanted, just like the Lions took a player they wanted. That's the kind of draft this was.
Yeah, and that's why I called it a New England Patriots type draft, because they usually just take the player that you want, and like Bill Belichick doesn't give a bleep.
He don't give a damn.
Where you think he should take a player, he's going to take the guy that he likes.
And then he's going to mumble.
Absolutely. Big news in the NFL yesterday regarding the quarterback position. We'll get to that as well, and it looks like this guy won. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. That's right, Fairway
I'd go for
Packing.
a steak right now.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided hotels, Michigan's finest restaurants and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. And we had some Fairway Packing Company at the restaurant we were at yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Outstanding. I had the Goff.
I had the Goff
I
steak
had the
as well.
Jared Goff, the ribeye.
There you go. And you do not have to go to the fancy restaurant to get the fancy steak. You can just get it yourself. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. One of my favorite things to do a couple times a week, to be honest with you. You can order online as well, fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com. Source, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
WoodwardSports.com. Thanks to everybody who is watching this show. Hey, grab some merch. WoodwardSports.com. We've got some pretty good stuff up there. Hats, shirts, sweatshirts, tank tops, baby stuff. Get ready for the summer. WoodwardSports.com.
We got free JMO shirts on there, too.
Yeah.
They're not free, but it says free JMO.
Right, exactly.
They're cheap.
That's a really good way to put it.
Inexpensive. By the way, Lions tonight, they're on the clock with pick number 3. Then their pick after that, they drop to, let's see, what do I have? 17th and then 24th. So you got 3, 17, and 24 tonight. That's, just think if that was the first round. You have 3 picks in tonight's round.
Tight end, quarterback, defensive. Tight end, quarterback, offensive guard.
offensive guard, corner, quarterback.
Is this if they were first round or what they're going to do tonight? Now.
Tonight.
Corner, O-line. No, corner, D-line, O-line.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Hey, big news yesterday, guys. I wanted to get to it, and that's Lamar Jackson did sign his extension. 5 years, $260 million, and $185 million guaranteed.
Like 5 minutes after we got off the air.
$52 million a year that equates out to. Jalen Hurts got $51 million a year, essentially. That's right. Thank you, Smokey. $52 million. Good for this young man. He deserves it. He earned it. I'm glad he got it. And he saves 1 to 3% on the commission.
About $8 million.
Yeah, it's about $7.6 million over the life of the deal.
Did you see him rolling around on his ride yesterday?
No, I missed that.
Check him out. This was him saying, hey, I got paid.
You know, for the last few months, there's been a lot of he say, she say, a lot of nail biting, a lot of head scratching going on. But for the next 5 years, it's a lot of flock going on. Let's go, baby. Let's go, man. Can't wait to get there. Can't wait to be there. Can't wait to light up M&T for the next 5 years, man. Let's get it.
I'm happy for him. Now he's got to go win a playoff game.
Yeah, now the pressure
I know he's got one, but
now the pressure
win more.
is on Lamar Jackson, right? I mean, and this is going to be provable, too. If you thought he should have gotten the money, if you didn't think he should get the money. Baltimore paid more money out to any wide receiver this free agent period to get him a wide receiver in Odell Beckham Jr.
And they
also
one.
Thank you, Tom. They also drafted Zay Flowers last night.
Do you know they drafted Zay Flowers?
Fucking guy, man. What a day for Baltimore.
I'm usually sitting over there and you guys talk. I don't say a damn word. I'm here. I'm talking.
Right. Worse than Braylon, man. Always.
You guys put me to sleep. By the time you're both done, I'm out.
God damn. Here's what they say. This is Mel Kiper's biggest winners from round one, the Baltimore Ravens. What a day for Baltimore, which locked down Lamar Jackson for 5 more years and then got its quarterback, a playmaker in Flowers, one of my favorite prospects this entire draft class. He'll make Jackson's life so much easier. He can run every route. He'll dominate out of the slot. Yes, the Ravens signed the slot. Yes, the Ravens signed Odell Beckham Jr., but it was just a 1-year deal. They have plenty of room for Flowers. Baltimore wide receivers combined for 248 receiving yards when lined up in the slot last year. That's the fewest in the NFL.
And here's something else for you. I don't have this on the sheet, but let's put up that tweet that had Antonio Brown in it. I don't know how real this is, but check this out, right?
Yeah, I saw this. I don't know about this. This is not. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't care less about Antonio Brown.
Neither could I.
He's a troll. Let somebody tell me he signed for the. He signed with the Ravens, and I'll talk about it. But I mean, this guy's a joke.
He is. I'm not a fan of his at all.
Yeah.
But I wanted to put it up just because I didn't want people to say we missed something. So this was out on social media today, so here it is.
Very good. Sam, talk to me about Lamar Jackson. How much pressure is on this guy now?
I mean, I think a ton of pressure. Fortunately for him, because he did get paid. They did draft him a wide receiver. They did give him Odell Beckham Jr. They showed that they believed in him. And to some extent, Lamar Jackson, he's a flawed quarterback, but he's the best they have. No matter what you say about Lamar Jackson, he did win an MVP, and the Ravens have been consistent regular season winners. The problem is that Lamar Jackson has been a bad playoff performer. 1-3 record, 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He has not had one, I'd say, even decent playoff game. And the fact they're giving him all this money, he's got to change that soon, or it's going to look like it was money not well spent, unfortunately.
No doubt.
Mark Andrews is his top guy. Mark Andrews is starting to slow down a little bit. A lot of injuries last year. Still one of the best tight ends in the game, but he takes a beating, and they need another guy for him. They need a running game. J.K. Dobbins really hasn't showed anything yet, except he can't get on the field just like a guy here in DeAndre Swift. I'd be interested to see. Maybe they'll take DeAndre Swift.
The thing is, though, like you said, J.K. Dobbins is, I would say he's shown a little bit more than DeAndre Swift in his limited time, but he's another one. He's had injury issues. He's not ever really available. But to me, he has showed some promise. Obviously, the Ravens have a defense, Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey. They've got a good team. It's just that in order for this money to be considered money well spent, in order for it to be a good investment, Lamar Jackson has to play better in the playoffs. I think if he plays last year at Cincinnati, the Ravens win that game. But he's got to actually do it.
That AFC is freaking loaded, man.
That's fair.
I mean,
Aaron Rodgers got his work cut out for him. I think he's going to do well, though.
Jets, Bills, Chiefs. I'm doing this without the benefit of a computer right now. Bengals.
Dolphins, you forgot.
Dolphins. I think you can look at the Broncos as a team that's going to improve. Browns with Deshaun Watson. Browns, Broncos, Ravens.
You got the Chiefs in there, obviously.
Chargers.
We're missing the South.
Chargers.
You got the South. You got the Titans. You got
Titans.
The Colts.
No.
The Texans.
No.
And the Jags. There you go, Jags.
So you're looking at Jets, Bills, Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins, Browns, Broncos, Jags, Chargers, Ravens.
10 out of 16.
I mean, what that tells
and even if you wanted to peel off the Browns, you got 9.
Don't peel them off.
I know. I'm just for argument's sake of people. Though, but you paid a quarterback $250 million of guaranteed money. Sure. You better make the playoffs.
I mean, what that tells me is Lamar could play very, very well, and they still might not even make it just because of how loaded the AFC is. And even then, even though it might be unfair, it would look like a bad investment because we remember. Lamar Jackson won his MVP season and played the best football of his life on a rookie deal.
Right.
This most certainly is not a rookie deal. Not even close.
Let me give you the AFC Championship game and tell me if you think I'm crazy, Sam, right now. I'm not putting the Chiefs in it. Cincinnati and the Jets.
I think you're a little bit crazy. But to be fair, I'm one of the bigger Aaron Rodgers defenders at this network. I think it's going to work. I think they're going to be good. They're at least going to challenge for the division. It's just that you can't. I got to put the Chiefs in there. It's the Chiefs. What they are now is what the Patriots once were. Until they get knocked off the perch, you have to keep including them. They've got a lot of rookies who stepped up last year and are gonna
They're terrific.
They're terrific. Yeah.
I had I don't know. Maybe the Jets are another year away. So then I'd go back to Chiefs Bengals again.
But just remember,
I'm putting the Bengals in there, though.
I know we've talked about a lot with the Jets. To all the people out there saying that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to work, this team was competitive for a large part of the year with Mike White, Zach Wilson, and Joe Flacco as their quarterbacks.
There you go.
Aaron Rodgers is walking into Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, C.J. Mosley. That's a good roster.
It's a great roster. I mean...
Bengals got your guy too, Miles Murphy. You like Miles Murphy?
I think that's a great pick for them.
You look at the 10 teams that I mentioned too in the AFC.
You didn't even mention the Patriots.
Jets. The Jets did something interesting. Aaron Rodgers makes $1.1 million this year, and then $107 million next year. But so I'm going to go. Jets aren't paying their quarterback. Bills are. Chiefs are. Bengals are not. Dolphins, Ravens pay. Chargers, I mean, the Jags with that quarterback on a rookie deal, and Joe Burrow on a rookie deal.
Yeah. Soon to not be.
Yeah.
He will be the highest paid player any day now.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow
doubt.
will.
All right, absolutely, without question. All right, guys, back to wrap it up. But first, a message from Cousins Maine Lobster.
All right, Cousins Maine Lobster. You know the score. Cousins Maine Lobster brings the best of Maine coast to Detroit. Try their variety of sweet, succulent Maine lobster around the city. They got 2 trucks rolling around. Check on that QR code and find out exactly where they are. Because if you get to Cousins Maine Lobster and download their app, you could check it out, because if you order through their mobile app, you start piling up points and earning rewards. Lindsey Hunter does it all the time. Guaranteed. You're going to love it. CousinsMadeLobster.com.
I love Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
It just flashed on ESPN, Shane Steichen's new quarterback, Anthony Richardson. He helped Phillip Rivers, helped a couple other Pro Bowlers. God knows what he's doing, Shane Steichen, so we'll see what he can get. We're definitely rooting for Anthony Richardson,
Damn right we are.
the 2 guys on this table right now. Maz, the Leafs, are you kidding me?
The
Little
Leafs are
NBA,
shaking.
NHL. Man.
They don't make it easy. Last night I was keeping track of the NHL and the NBA and showing Braylon the score. The Celtics knocked off the Hawks. So that's that. The NBA and the NHL. The Devils shut out the Rangers. Devils, I gave up on them.
3 in a row?
That's my team. I gave up on them, and they've won 3 in a row. I'm going to continue to give up on them so they could win the Stanley Cup. Tampa Bay over Toronto. So that now is a 3-2 series heading back to Tampa. Those Toronto fans last night were there to celebrate. Instead, it's 20 years and counting still before they have won a series. And Vegas,
that's miserable,
it's
though.
misery.
I mean, that's miserable. Even
it's Lions-esque.
Look, I know you want to win, and if Toronto wins tomorrow night or whenever they play, is it tomorrow night? If they win tomorrow night, the fans will be happy and all that stuff. But you almost feel like you rob your fans of that moment at home.
They're not robbing them because it's going to go 7. It's going to go 7. They will be shut out tomorrow.
You think so?
They will.
That's your Maz lock of the day.
Tampa Bay will shut out Toronto.
You got any money
tomorrow.
in that Circus Sports account?
I'm starting to build it up again. So NHL tonight, Canes and Isles. Canes up 3-2.
I have no use for that series.
Bruins Panthers, it's 3-2 there.
I like that series.
Florida's home. Stars and Wild. Stars could put away the Wild.
I have no use for that series.
And the Avs could lose to the Kraken, the Stanley Cup champions, on the ropes against the upstart Seattle Kraken. You see Pete Carroll wearing got the Kraken jersey?
Really?
They love that team. Seattle's a great sports city.
It is. I think they'll get a basketball team next
Get
year.
those
They should.
Sonics back.
It would not and should not surprise anybody to see Seattle, the Kraken, in the conference finals. I mean, they're a second-year team, and that's what
Vegas did it.
That's what Vegas did it. Seattle could do it. Remember back in the NFL when the Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars behind Tom Coughlin and Dom Capers.
Mark Brunell.
Absolutely.
That was great.
Very good.
NBA tonight, Kings and Warriors. Warriors could finish off the Kings. You said the Kings won't win any more games.
I said that.
You did.
Didn't I, when they were down 2-0?
And the Lakers up 3-2 on the Grizz. Go Grizz.
Lakers could close out a playoff series for the first time on their home court in, a decade?
I don't know, but I hope they don't.
I mean, how long has that been?
I don't know. I hope they don't, though.
They're going to win tonight.
Probably.
I think it's better for basketball if the Lakers win.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know.
Not better for me, though.
Tigers and Orioles tonight, although
I got tickets for the game, too.
Are you on tonight?
Tomorrow's
supposed to be beautiful.
I know. Tomorrow's going to be nice.
You going tomorrow, too?
After Maddie's soccer game, I will travel down to Comerica.
Okay. See the O's.
CDO.
All right.
O's have won, 5 straight against the Tigers.
Yeah.
So,
Sam, are you doing something with the heavyweights today, or what? You got the show tonight?
Got the show tonight. Yeah, pretty excited about it. I mean, this draft time is just such a good time for the network. All the shows have been popping off. Last night was absolutely incredible. But I'll tell you what, and I know we all agree in this room, this Saturday, I think I'm just going to crash. It's just been insane, such a whirlwind of emotions, all these events. But it's a labor of love. It 100% is a labor of love, and I would not change anything.
JB, you going to be a part of the show tonight? You've been here all day and all night last night. I thought you slept at Fifth Avenue last night or something, man.
Yeah, I probably should have slept at Fifth Avenue, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I'll stick around tonight with the heavyweights to hang out just to see the Lions pick tonight and to hopefully, get, as D-Mac says, fully bricked up once again. So
D-Mac was hot last night.
Yeah,
pumping up the crowd, walking around.
D-Mac's the best.
He is everyone's favorite. He is the favorite son of Detroit and the best athlete that you will ever meet.
No doubt. Hey,
hands down.
Thanks, Maz. Absolutely. JB, Sam Flannel. We'll be watching tonight, fellas. Braylon will be back on Monday. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Over 500 likes. That is a new show record for us. So
Lions
thank you very much.
Pick third tonight. Let's go.
Network.
Look at him. Did you see who it was?
I still don't know.
No. Just wait. It's Braylon. Just wait.